Hello, John. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can see you and I can hear you, and the same for you.
Absolutely, absolutely. Love the background with soundproof and the guitar. So, man.
Yeah, this is my little studio. So I do all my recording here, which is very nice since we are spread out all over our country. Yeah, it makes it nice that I can do my tracking here. I just have a Pro Tools set up and my guitars. So
This is where all the magic happens then.
hey, yeah, some of it, yeah.
So, how was Keep It True?
It was great. It was great. Now, keep in mind that it was a last minute, show for us because we were, originally, Seattle metal band Sanctuary. They were scheduled for the festival, and then something happened. I'm not exactly sure, but they had to cancel at the kind of last minute.
Okay.
Uh, so yeah, so we were not prepared. We were really not prepared for the show. And Oliver contacted us and said, Sanctuary had to leave the festival, and can you guys take their spot? And everybody fortunately was available, so we agreed to do it. It would have been nice if because it was last minute. We didn't have a lot of preparation time,
Okay.
and the band only actually had 2 days where they could prepare. And remember, we hadn't played live since August of 2019.
In Alcatraz, yeah? Right?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so it was a little dicey. And myself, I was actually already in Europe, on different, not band related. So I didn't even get to rehearse with the band.
Oh, man.
I winged it. I just winged it. So I would say, considering those circumstances, it wound up being very, very good. Everybody loved the band. The promoter Oliver, he said, this was your best show, yet. And I think it came off very, very well. So we were happy about that.
I'm jealous because I saw Fifth Angel in Keep It True in 2010. So it's been a long
We
time.
were much better. We were much better than then, obviously.
But you did manage to squeeze two new songs from the upcoming album, right?
Yeah, we did. I think they went over okay. I mean, obviously, these are brand new songs. We had never performed them. Were they the best performance? No, but I still think that the audience liked them, and maybe get a feel for what's coming with the next album.
I think that you are a little bit hard on yourself right now, but at any rate. Actually, this is the first record with Steve on the vocals. What did he bring in the sound and even in the making of When Angels Kill?
First of all, finding the right singer it's so important, and of course it's probably one of the most difficult tasks. And there's a lot of great singers out there.
Mm-hmm.
And after Kendall decided to leave the band, we obviously were looking for a new singer, and there's a lot. Like I said, there's a lot of things. There's a lot of great singers out. We talk to a lot of great guys, people that and some that you don't know. And but we weren't just okay. We got to fill that spot, and we just need somebody who can sing the notes.
Mm-hmm.
That's not what we wanted, because that's never what it's been about Fifth Angel. We're like, we got to find the guy that has not only can sing the notes, but also can first of all, we didn't want somebody that sounded generic 80s. We wanted somebody who maybe sounds a little bit like Ted Pilot, which is difficult, but also somebody who sounds unique, somebody who doesn't sound like all of the other 80s singers. And so that was a real important criteria when we were examining singers. And we really felt that Ken brought Steve into the studio, to sing on some of the demos. And we really felt like he captured the feel, and his voice was moving, for our music, because you also have to have the right fit,
Yes.
Because you could have the greatest singer, right? Okay, but that singer, that doesn't mean that he's going to fit the music. And you have to have the right voice to fit the right music. We felt like Steve was the person that was able to deliver that. Now, once we actually started working on the record, Ken really kind of orchestrated the vocal parts with Steve.
Okay.
Because he's new to the band, and he has such a great attitude. He's like, look, I'm new to the band. I don't have any writing experience, with your band. He's like, you just tell me what to do and I'll do it. You tell me what to sing and I'll sing it. And so, Ken and I were writing most of the material. Ken writes. I don't, unfortunately, write lyrics or vocal parts.
Okay.
I can't do it. I can only write music. But Ken is very gifted, and he can kind of do it all. So he's the one who really, of course, the story of the album is his idea, and he's the one who really orchestrated. He wrote all the lyrics, the vocal parts. So it's almost like Steve was his instrument. So Ken was able to, whatever he was hearing in his head, make Steve, sing those parts. And of course, he did an amazing job.
Oh, yeah. The song.
Every single song, the vocals are just stellar.
Right.
No,
I agree. And listening you saying that Ken wrote the lyrics, at what point you said, let's make another concept album? Because I think this one continues the story from the previous album, right? The Third Circuit.
Right. Yeah, correct. I think this idea Ken is having in his head for quite some time. I think we even may have tossed the idea even at the time of Third Secret, because Third Secret does, even though it's not a complete concept, there is, a little bit of the concept in that album, which is, of course, the story of the miracle of Fatima. But for whatever reason, I don't think that we decided to do a complete concept. But I think that's maybe where the idea kind of started building, And then with this album, then I think, Ken, it's like, hey, now is the time to do it, because if we don't do it now, then we'll probably never do it.
And you said that you write music. So did the fact that you had a story behind changed or, I don't know, adjusted the way you approach songwriting because you had a story to support, let's say?
Definitely. So I think some of the, now again, I was writing music. So I think some of the music that I contributed was with the story in mind.
Okay.
Some of it just happened to fit, depending upon some of the ideas were ideas that I've had for quite some time. So they were really before the story. But as far as Ken writing, he definitely was writing with story in mind, And of course, he had the grand plan in his brain, so it was much easier. But he was able to find, So I would say here, I have a musical idea. And he was able to take that musical idea and, and then fit it somewhere into the storyline, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Oh, yes, it does.
He would change it. I would send him a basic music structure of the song, and then he would take and then kind of, move parts around in order to shape the music into what would become the song that would fit the story.
Right. And I liked how in some songs there is a connection to the previous album. You have that. You have some voice or spoken parts that tell the story. By the way, who recorded those the spoken parts?
I don't know the people, but they're professional voiceover actors.
Okay, I was trying to see if anyone from the band did that.
No. Because Ken does a lot of different things, and he also does a lot of work in film and that kind of thing. So he has connections. I'm not sure where he dug these people up.
Do you know, or have you discussed if the story ends in this album, or there is an open door for a trilogy?
Yes. No, you just nailed it. Yes. Yeah. It's an open door. And, we did not want to make it so, okay, this is the exact story. We want to, here's kind of the bits and pieces of the story, and we're just going to let the listener build the story how they interpret it.
Yeah, and in fact, it's maybe a fictional one, but for example, at the end of Resist the Tyrant, that tyrant uses the term divide and conquer. Unfortunately, these things are happening all around us.
Oh, I know, that's the scary part. And of course, Ken was thinking of the story of it taking place in the future, but it's almost like it's starting to happen now. So, it's a little frightening,
So how long did you work on the album? Because you have almost 70 minutes of music. It's a double vinyl.
Yeah, we've been working on this record for over 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah, we didn't plan it that way. It happened that way. And of course, we started the writing process, during COVID, because there's what else are we going to do? It's been it was a difficult record to make, and it was over two. When I looked at when I first started my bass tracks, it was December of 20.
Wow.
So over 2 years to make this record, and for better or worse. It kind of, that's how certain things turned out in the recording process. That's why, there's more than just the band, people that were involved in it.
So from your point of view, is it a good thing to have more time in your disposal, or you may start overworking things?
I don't think that there's a right or wrong answer to that question.
Correct.
Because it just depends upon the flow of the creativity, the creative process. You know what I mean? Sometimes, like Third Secret, we kind of banged that album out real quick, and it was because of the creative process was happening right at the time. Ken and Kendall were making the writing team, and they were just, it's just kind of like when you're hot, right? And when the creative flow, is going, you go with it. So I think it's possible to churn out an amazing body of work in a year. You could also, but on the flip side, if you're feeling rushed or you're under pressure, you could and you're trying to get a whole album done in a year, and that creative process is not there. You could wind up turning out a big pile of crap. So for us, we did not plan on taking that much time. It's just the conditions of the creative process and the availability of musicians dictated that it happened that way. So in our case, I think it is going to work out in our favor, but could have not worked out in our favor. And thank God that our record company, they never put pressure on us. They never said, hey, where's the new album? Where's the new album? Why is it taking so long? They never did that. They're just like, you guys take your time. You'll know when it's right. And when it's done right, then we'll release it.
Absolutely. So Ken worked on the album. Steve, of course, recorded the vocals. And then you have Jim play the leads, or did he write the leads too?
Well, he did both. So
okay.
So Jim, he did all of his own lead work, and we just sent him the songs. Ken just sent him the songs, and he just did his thing. And 9 out of 10 times he'd send it back, and it would be like, "This is perfect." Obviously, Ken would say, "Well, hey, maybe just change just one little part here or there." You're always going to have that. But he, and that was the great thing about Jim. We did not have to, guide him in, how the solos should be composed. And it's why we chose him, because he has that neoclassical style,
mm-hmm.
which a lot of guitar players, there's a million great metal guitar players, but finding somebody that has that older neoclassical, it's like Yngwie, and we wanted to return to the James Byrd style lead because we found that's guitar-wise, that's the thing the fans kind of complained the most. They're like, we miss the big James Byrd, harmony guitar solos. Because Kendall didn't really do that as much. Kendall was different style. I mean, still great, but very different from James. But we wanted to go back to the James style. And of course, we asked James if he wanted to play, and he was not able to for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
And we found that Jim was the closest fit to that. And since he already naturally played that way, we knew that, okay, because nobody had time to guide somebody through, okay, how to play the leads. We just here's the song, make it happen. And he was very good at that.
For the live, when you play live, you will still be using, still have Ethan Bros doing the leads?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And what about the production and the mixing? Who did those?
Ken did all of that, with the exception of mastering. We had, so Ken did. I mean, he probably has 1 million hours into this album. You know what I mean? Between songwriting, producing, mixing,
lyrics.
And then we had a German guy master it, and he did a really, really good job. And I don't remember his name, but yeah. So Ken really did the majority of. And it was a lot of work because it was a difficult record to make because we had a lot of, different people playing on the album, which then, changes the sound. And that makes a lot of work, when you're mixing.
But Ken did not do the cover artwork, right? I'm
No.
joking.
Yeah. No, that was a guy named Andy Plankton. Andy something. He's a artist in the UK. He did like the last couple Flotsam records.
Mm-hmm.
So he was a very good artist. We were working originally with another artist, a friend of mine, and I know the label, they didn't really quite like it, so we decided to have Andy, I think he really captured what we were looking for. We did originally contact Sophia, who did the artwork for
The previous.
Secret, and I think she's a big star now, and it was just too much.
Okay.
Yeah, she wanted too much money, and the label said no, we can't afford that. So.
Well, I appreciate the honest man. So, you have, as I said, you have a double vinyl. Are you planning, or have you planned to add a little bit of excerpts to connect the story that the songs are telling?
I haven't seen the booklet yet.
Okay.
So I'm not sure. I know that I saw kind of some rough drafts, but I actually never saw the finished booklet and all that. So I don't know.
Oh, that's okay. That's perfectly fine. What about touring plans? You have Headbangers Open Air and again Alcatraz, but that's all.
Yeah, it's a sore subject. So right now we do not have a tour plan. We are looking at some in the works, but I honestly I don't know if any will happen this year.
Okay.
So because it's already very late in the season. Maybe in the winter months. But I think probably right now we're kind of really focusing more on 2024, and so basically let the album come out in mid-June and build up some momentum throughout the rest of the year, and then kind of hopefully be able to go out of the box in 2024 and with some real tours, not just a couple of one here, one there kind of thing. So it's so difficult to do that. Well, right now touring is so difficult anyway. I mean, a lot of bands, especially for us U.S. bands, to come over to Europe. I mean, the flights are insane. We're talking to fly 5 of us to Europe. We're talking between 7,000 and 8,000 euro. You know what I mean? So
yes, absolutely.
To do that, play a show, and then turn around and then fly back, we're losing money.
Yes,
yes. And even some even festival or tours, small tours like Flotsam, because Ken plays in Flotsam and Jetsam, they just canceled Europe tour because they would have lost too much money. Yeah. So it's just right now is very difficult, especially for U.S. bands that are wanting to tour in Europe. If you're a European band, then it makes a lot of sense. And I think this is why you're seeing a lot of the festival. There's more European bands because it's economically feasible for them to make the travel within the EU. Whereas with us American bands, it's really tough.
Although I think I've heard that the visas the price for the visas will increase significantly. So I have no idea if that will.
I haven't heard that, but wouldn't surprise. Here's another charge. Here's another charge. And then the airline, and then there's the baggage. Okay.
Well, yeah.
Right. We always everybody have extra baggage, whether it's another guitar or this, and now they're charging, double. you know. So for me to bring one extra guitar is $200, okay, times 5 people, okay, there's another €1,000, you know, $1,000 just in baggage fees.
Honestly, it doesn't make sense to me why prices have increased. Everybody is blaming COVID, but come on, they should be helping people out, not
No, it's
trying.
just a bullshit excuse for everywhere just to charge more money. Food, you know, travel, hotels, you
Even the
know.
venues, I think they're asking more money now.
I know everything.
Oh man,
I don't know. I don't know. It's just it's crazy, you know. And all we don't, you know. It's not like we want to go there and we gotta actually make any money. You know, we're okay. We just break even.
correct.
We want to play the music for our fans, but you can only sustain so much financial loss. If I was a millionaire, I just finance the whole tour, but you know, I'm not. You know, I'm retired. I live off of, you know, only so much money.
Yeah, but at the same, okay, I understand the concept of breaking even, but at the same time, the bands should be making some money. I mean, come on.
Yes. I mean, yeah. Ideally, yes. It would be nice to you know to go and put a few €100 in our pocket
Right.
for every show. But even I'm just saying worst case scenario, even if we just break even, okay, we would still go and do it.
Correct. John, thank you very much for your time. Love the new album. I'm planning to get it on vinyl, of course, and
Okay.
hopefully we will see Fifth Angel first in the US.
I hope. And where are you in Greece?
I am in Chicago.
Oh, you're in Chicago. Okay. Yeah. You know, there was I think was it called Reggie's?
Correct.
Yeah, Reggie's. We were even gonna play there, and I think maybe a year ago
Mm-hmm.
or something. It was like 1 or 2 years ago. They want to have us, you know, for they have a festival there. I forget what it's called.
Legends of Metal.
Yeah, and even for that, like, you know, because obviously, as you know, in May is like the high season,
Correct.
and like the hotel room in Chicago, they were so expensive. It either would have eaten up all of our money, or we had to stay like 2 hours out of the city, you know. And it's like, we're going to drive, you know, 2 hours to the show and then 2 hours all the way back, you know. And so I don't know. Hopefully we can maybe get a U.S. tour, but you know, that's difficult as well.
Let's get Flotsam and Jetsam with you guys. That will be.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for having me on your show, and you have a great day.
Absolutely. Thank you.